Atlantic bluefin tuna is one of the most amazing fish, in fact, one of the most amazing animals in the world. It's one of the very biggest fish in the ocean. It's one of the very fastest creatures in the world. And it's a warm-blooded fish, which makes it really unusual. It's also hard to catch, very exciting to catch, and very delicious to eat. There's virtually no comparison between the number of bluefin tuna that there were in, let's say, the 1960s and the number of bluefin tuna there are now. It's vastly lower now. People in Canada are seeing quite a lot of bluefin tuna now in certain places. But you have to look at the big picture. The question is, what is the overall population? It may be that most of the remaining fish are kind of pushed into Canadian waters right now, possibly because of the temperature of the water, possibly because of where the food is. But you need to keep the big picture in mind, because if you have all of them, or most of them, and you fish them very hard, then you're going to have none of them. There are two ideas about the relationship between the numbers of adults and the numbers of young ones that they spawn. One is that when there are a lot of adults, they spawn a lot of young ones. And the other idea is that when there are a lot of adults, they don't necessarily spawn a lot of young ones. Those ideas are not equally plausible. There really isn't any uncertainty here. If you look at the data, it shows quite clearly that when you have a lot of adults, you have a lot of juveniles in a very strong population. The issue was that to get them to recover to the incredible abundance that they're capable of recovering to, you would have to set catch quotas low now to let them recover. And there are a number of people who don't like that idea, mostly people who are catching them. They don't want lower catch quotas, they want higher catch quotas. You have one of the most valuable fish in the world, one of the most magnificent fish in the world. You have the data that shows that they're demolished compared to what they were in the 1960s and 70s. It would seem fundamental that you would want to get them back. You could catch more of them and make more money from them. And if the idea of fisheries management is to manage fish so that you can maximize the amount of money you can have in the long term, for the benefit of the fishermen and the communities and your country, then it's a no-brainer that these fish need to be allowed to recover, and that the longer this lingering depletion is dragged out for the decades it's now been 40 years, this does not help anybody. It just hurts.